Hi everybody, welcome back. Happy Sunday. It's not Sunday, never mind. Right? What day is it? Saturday. Good try, Max. Try again. But it's okay, Papa. Good girl. Where are you going? Hi everybody, welcome back. Happy Saturday. If you're watching this past the Saturday that I recorded it on, you. Not actually, but maybe. If you play your cards right. Today, I wanted to do just a very casual video, talk about something that I've been thinking about, which is actually something that you all have helped me with. It's one of those things that I've mentioned that when I first started this channel, I thought I knew basically what it was going to feel like, what was going to be the result, what the workload would be, what I would like, what I wouldn't like, whatever. What my interactions would be like if there were any. I wasn't sure that there would be anybody watching. So, but this is the thing. What am I saying? The topic today is that I have never been very good at being authentically, unapologetically myself. When I was doing stand-up comedy actively, and consistently or whatever, towards maybe the last 3-4 years when I started to feel confident about my abilities to go on stage and make people laugh, I kind of had like a persona. I was like Max, the guy that will make fun of you, but not to hurt your feelings, like to set you straight, but then he's doing it out of love. And some of that was genuine, but it was definitely a persona. And so I would show up and I would be, I mean, I say the truth, even if it's hurtful. I'll tell you the truth. I was like that guy. I don't know if I was as annoying as those people are, the people that are like bragging about their ability to be brutally honest, and it's more so just their inability to be socially tactful. But that's how I presented myself. It was the only way that I felt comfortable in public. But outside of that, before stand-up, since, but even during, when I was home by myself or with just the girlfriend or with some friends that I felt really comfortable around, I was not comfortable being myself without apologizing for things that I thought were off-putting, offensive, awkward, stupid. Things that I would do that are okay. Stuff like I'm having a conversation with my friend. I start talking about myself, big surprise, but talking about myself and complimenting myself for something. I would then apologize and say something like, I don't mean to be bragging or anything like that, or I'm not trying to brag, I'm proud of myself or whatever. Actually, I don't think I would say the proud part. That's probably new. I would just say, sorry, I'm not trying to brag or anything. Or if I would be talking to them about something going on in their life and there was a clear problem and we were having a dialogue about it and they were listening intently, I would apologize and say something like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, man. I mean, what do I know? Like stuff like that. And I still hear some of that vocab in the way that I talk today, but then it was based in embarrassment. I was afraid that if I didn't apologize for who I was and how I carried myself, that people would mistake my intentions for something that they weren't. They would mistake me complimenting myself as cockiness, as an ego trip or whatever. That if I was talking to them about something that they asked me for help with and I wasn't very careful and walked on eggshells, that they would become too offended by whatever I was saying, even if they agreed with it, and they wouldn't want to be my friend anymore. And I don't think that makes sense. I think that it's okay to be concerned with how other people view you. I've heard at 12-step groups and from whatever internet forums all over the place, like you shouldn't care what other people think, which is ridiculous. Even if you shouldn't care what other people think, you're going to. It's natural to. If you don't care at all what other people think and feel, you're a crazy person. It's okay to be crazy. It's okay to have a mental illness, but it's not okay to be like, a sociopath and just have no interest in what other people think and feel. And if that's the case, please get help. But why would you listen to me if you don't care what I think and feel? So it's normal because we depend on other people for lots of things in different ways now than we used to. And I talk about this a lot, but back when we were a tribal people, when we didn't know that there were people, we didn't know that there were countries. They weren't called countries then, but we didn't know that there were giant land masses with people on them, 3,000 miles away or whatever. I don't know if that's the right, amount of distance or not, but so we had this intimate group of people, and if we were outcast from that group, we had lost our connection to food, to clothing, to shelter, to protection, to community, just socializing, the ability to reproduce. We had lost our connection to any of that. And so, what other people think and feel about us is direly important. Our reputation in whatever social group that we are a part of is important. It should be. And if you're trying to be a cool guy and act like it doesn't matter what other people think, you're just in denial. Just say you're afraid that people are not going to like you. It's okay. You can be tough and cool and confident and also care what other people think. That's fine. I didn't know that back then. I thought I had to pick. I either didn't care at all and I was just unapologetically myself, or I was a supplicant. I was a sycophant. I was weak and obsequious and followed people around at their heels, kissing their feet and oiling their feet straight out of the Bible and please like me. And I thought that was the option. I'm so sorry that I have my own opinion. That was it, black and white. 2 directions to go, and I had to pick one. My mouth is dry. And then there's a hair in my mouth. Always sexy. But because of this YouTube channel, and a lot of you, when I make videos more often than I would like, where I am maybe not even starting off intending to say sorry for something at some point in the video, I end up doing it because it's an old habit and it's dying hard. And so I apologize for something that I don't think I need to apologize for. And oftentimes after I upload the video, I don't regret posting the video at all. But I guess I'm slightly embarrassed because I know that even if some of you disagree with an opinion I have, or think that I should be replying to more comments, or think that I should have a stronger social media presence. These are all thoughts that I have about myself, by the way. So I'm like putting these in your mouths, but these are obviously insecurities that I have. Whatever. Even if you think that, that's okay. You're allowed to think I could be better or I'm bad in this area even. It's not even about wanting me to be better. It's about Max is kind of really lazy when it comes to whatever. Again, obviously things that I've thought, but just because you have those thoughts, that doesn't mean that you and I don't get along. It doesn't mean that we don't like each other. And that was what I thought. I thought that if there's one thing that is not perfect about you in their eyes, you are no longer a friend. You're no longer of any value. You're no longer to be respected. You're a nobody. And that's why when I was in public situations and I couldn't run around apologizing to everybody, I presented myself as though I was perfect and that I didn't care, that I was always going to best you at everything. Don't even try it. But I love you. That's how I presented it. And in private, I presented it like I'll apologize for anything that I think they might not care for. That's part of my character or some of the behaviors that I have. That way they always love me and have need for me in their lives, whatever. I don't know if it's an abandonment thing or what, but that's what it was. And now when I read your guys' comments, when I post these things, some of you will say things like, when I post these things that are me apologizing, some of you will say things like, Max, you're too hard on yourself. Or, we're always going to be here. I remember a comment from Alex saying, no matter what happens, Max, I think that there's always going to be a group of us that are here for you no matter what. And there's other comments that have stuck with me like that too, but even if I can't remember them verbatim or close to verbatim, I remember the whole. I remember the oeuvre of positive, supportive, we are here, no matter what comments that I have gotten from you all. And that has helped me to realize that a lot of this I'm sorry for being Max stuff that I do is not only unnecessary, but it's hurtful to me. Let alone being probably annoying sometimes, but that me addressing that it's annoying to other people sometimes would be like totally flipping it on its head, and it would be some type of irony maybe, because the whole point is that I should just be okay with how I am. So me being okay with how I am made me focus on other people and how they didn't like me, whatever. I'm not finding ways to say that how I want to say it, so it probably doesn't make any sense. And here's where I would say sorry. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to wonder if I should. But wondering if I should say sorry for whatever. The inability to form a coherent sentence about some thought I had is better than just saying sorry, because what if? What if I am not needed? For some reason, I'm thinking of Pascal's wager, which I don't fully understand. And it's often, I think, misrepresented unintentionally, because it's sort of like the telephone game. Somebody tells you about Pascal's wager, you repeat it to somebody else, they repeat it to somebody else, and it just gets convoluted, diluted, whatever. Pascal's wager, in the way that I understand it in this current moment, I'll probably look it up as soon as I post this video to make sure that I know it specifically, but it's basically that if there's a heaven, wouldn't it be better to act as though you believed in whatever God gets you into that heaven, because then you have a better chance of going there when you die, as opposed to just living your life and not believing and telling people you don't believe, perhaps even being militantly against those beliefs. Wouldn't it be better to not roll those dice or flip that coin, but to hedge your bets so that when you die, if there's a God, I guess Pascal thought, or maybe he was just talking about people that do this, people think that they'll somehow like pull one over on God, like he or she or it wouldn't know that you were just faking it. I guess he's not very slick or something. And that's sort of how I handled myself with other people, as I hedged my bets. I wanted to make sure that just in case they didn't like me, I could remain, or there was a better chance of me remaining in the heaven that was everyone paying attention to me, liking me, and respecting me, and wanting me in their lives. And in that heaven was its own hell, because I didn't like myself. I've talked for too long, so I'm going to try to wrap this up. I have very few days, relatively to how it used to be, where I don't like myself. Or at least very few days where I'm aware that I'm not liking myself. Maybe I hate myself, but I don't think so. Even if I'm frustrated with me, it's not self-loathing anymore. So I'm on the way up, I guess. This is something that, again, I need to thank you guys for, because it was not something I intended. It's not a lesson I planned on learning by telling my story and then talking about prison and posting videos about pizza. It was not at all part of the equation, but it's been a very pleasant and helpful result of trying to be transparent in a public way. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. There's not going to be a good news, unrelated good news segment in this video, because I'm trying to figure out what videos that should be in. And I don't think it should be in a video like this one. And here's where I would apologize. As though you guys are like keeping track on a calendar of when I don't do that. And it's a brand new thing anyways that I'm just having fun with that cheers me up. Woo! Left field. That's where that came from. Take care of yourselves. I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.